Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Coach's Corner. This is going to be a special one, folks. We got the senior football players on the show this evening. We also have the senior cheerleaders. They'll be joining us later as well. Also talk about tomorrow night's opponent, the 3-6 Shadyside Tigers. And Coach, before we do that, let's talk about our win over Frontier. You know, our defense played really well in the first half. We had 6 turnovers, I believe, total. Returned 2 of the 5 interceptions for touchdowns, had a fumble recovery. So we didn't really get to see a whole lot offensively from us, unfortunately.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. But you're right about the execution. I kind of tasked our guys with that early in the week about just executing the little things offensively and defensively. Yeah, defensively, I thought we came out on fire. Offensively, we did too. We scored, I think, on the first 4 out of 5 plays, we scored a touchdown or something like that. So, yeah. So, offensively, we were clicking. But I think our starters on offense only got about 12 actual offensive plays. But they still churned out yards. Tucker had 3 passes for 3 touchdowns. That was pretty good. We ran the ball well. I thought Evan ran the ball. He actually broke a couple tackles, ran through some arm tackles. But overall, I thought it was just a game that we kind of thought we'd go in there and be able to win, and we did. We executed well on both sides of the ball, moved the ball, got, like you mentioned, turnovers. It was nice to see the picks. Chance had 2, so just an overall good game for the guys to get in. And the JV guys got plenty of work.
Yeah.
2.5 quarters pretty much of work for the offense. So overall, just a good game and a stepping stone to the last and final regular season game.
Yeah, you know, I look forward to Logan Powell coming here in just a little bit because he showed off some of that blazing speed of his. You know what I mean?
He sure did show off some of that blazing speed.
We joke with Logan a lot about his speed, but man, Logan's just one great kid. Fantastic kid.
He is, but he's not fast.
No, he's not fast. The fast part was a joke. But we joke around with him. He takes it well, but and he admits he's not fast.
Right.
But you know, he had a heck of a game. That touchdown pass,
He
reception, and that interception.
2 touchdown receptions.
2.
Yeah. So
I must have went and got hot chocolate or something. But you know, Coach, it's Coach Acosta and I were talking prior to kickoff that you know, as Frontier seems to struggle year after year. But kudos to those kids because they still had close to 30 kids on the football team.
Yeah.
You know? And to stick with the sport that's just not real successful at that school is, you know, and continue to play, sacrifice the time and dedication and not win too many games, you know. So kudos to those kids.
Yep.
For certain. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with our first guest of the evening, the Monroe Central Senior Cheerleaders. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with our first guest of the evening, the Monroe Central Senior Cheerleaders. It was been tradition for years that Coach Acosta always had the senior football players on the final episode of the show, and Coach Calder wanted to include the senior cheerleaders as well. So here we are this evening, and it's only fitting that we give them the recognition they deserve for playing a vital part in the success of this football team. And one thing that goes unnoticed that most people aren't aware of that are away from cheer, don't understand how it all works is these girls put in a ton of time. Not just during one season, but for an entire year. So virtually, they try out for cheerleader in March. They take a few weeks off, and then they start practice with the choreographer to get ready for competition, get ready for football. When football's over, they move on to basketball. Before basketball's over, they start their competition. So in basketball and competitions end in March, and guess what? It's been a full year, and we try out again. So countless hours of practice, fundraisers, games, bonfires, pep rallies, and camps and competitions. So a big shout out to the parents that make this all work, and a big shout out to the advisors, Danielle Russell and Autumn Pardon, this team truly appreciates all that you guys do. So welcome to the show, girls. We have Maggie Stryker, Kensington Hiles, Riley Zwick, and Abby Kenny. So I just touched a little base on how much time you guys devote to cheer. So Abby, I'll start with you first. So along with cheer, you're a member of the marching band and also a 4-H member. So that last week in August was the fair. You were showing animals. It was week 1 against Belpre, and you had practice. You marched in the band. Can you explain how difficult it is throughout the year to manage your time?
I've been a member of the marching band for 6 years now, so anymore it's just a rhythm that you fall into. Once marching season hits, you know you have practice 3 times a week. You know it's 2 hours long. You know when you're supposed to be at the school. Adding cheer onto that was just adding another step, and I fell into the rhythm very, very quickly. I'm very used to the pressure and the intense schedule, so for me it's nothing but a walk. I enjoy that intensity, and it's difficult to make it work, but I do in the end, just like I will for basketball season, and then in the spring when we're still competing and I start into track.
Well, that's good. You know, when you move on from high school and manage your time the way you've been doing it through high school, that's only going to make you better, you know, as an adult to learn how to do that. Riley, you're kind of in the same boat, volleyball, cheer, and FFA. Can you expand just a little bit on what Abby said?
Yeah, I definitely agree with her. It can be difficult and sometimes stressful just being on, especially being on both competition teams and being an officer and FFA. I definitely do a lot, but luckily I have 2 great coaches and an FFA advisor who are really great to work with, so
Perfect.
it makes it a lot
You
easier.
guys do all this and still find time to support this football team. That's great. Now, Kenzie, this is your first year as a cheerleader,
Yep.
and I know both advisors speak very highly of you. And you seem to be enjoying yourself. Do you have any regrets in not doing this your freshman, sophomore, junior year?
Yeah, it's definitely my biggest regret. I've always loved cheering. I mean, you can ask Riley. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, I always be like, should I try out? And she'd always tell me yes, but I was too worried about what everyone else would think. And instead of focusing on what I love, I picked what everyone else would love instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish I would never have done that because this has definitely been the biggest blessing my high school career.
Great. So if you had any advice to give to a younger kid that was kind of on the fence, should I cheer or should I not cheer, what would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to cheer because we have 2 great coaches and they should just follow their dreams and not worry about anyone else. Because really when it comes down to it, it's your happiness that matters.
Perfect. You know, speaking of younger kids, you know, I've been around with Aiden cheered for several years, and now she's off to college, and Kennedy's cheering now too. And I've been around these little girls' cheer camps numerous times. And my little niece, Marin, she actually thinks Monroe Central High School is called cheer camp. So like if she goes to watch a basketball game in the winter, she thinks she's going to cheer camp. That's the name of the building to her. So, you know, you guys are kind of like role models to those younger kids, and I think that's great. So Maggie, you've shared a lot of time at camp with these young kids. How much have you enjoyed being around them?
It's just such an exciting week, like getting to really connect with the little kids because they really look up to us, and it's like, I don't know, just really getting to talk to them is so much fun, and just to see how excited they are, they're just really into it.
Yeah, I know when Marin comes to basketball games, she always makes it a point to go. It's like she knows every one of them. That's great. Riley, you've been around camp for a few years as well. Can you add anything to what Maggie just spoke of?
It's definitely great to just see how we can impact the little girls and just how fun it is for them, and just it's really rewarding as being older when you just see them out and about and they just like them. Like every time I see Nerder, I saw her the other day and she just ran up to me and gave me a hug. So it's really nice.
Yeah, and she's not the only kid that you girls have influenced. You know, there's several of them that you've influenced for certain. That's fantastic. Now this Seminole team is sitting at 8-1 right now, heading into week 10. Our next game against Shadyside, of course, is a very winnable game. That result would take us to 9-1. And this football program hasn't been 9-1 since 2011. That's 13 years. We've had some bad years. We've taken some lumps, but this coaching staff and this group of young men in here, they've really worked hard to get this program back to where it needs to be. Last year's motto was restore the tradition, and they did a dang good job of that. They finished 7-5. This year's motto is unfinished business. Those 5 games they lost last year, they wanted to get those back, and they've gotten them all back except for one in Barnesville. So this team's going to be ready to play, and I know you guys play a major role in the outcome as far as cheerleaders. But Abby, do you have any words for this team? They're all watching because they're going to be on the show as well. So do you have any words for them, words of encouragement, or maybe a little advice?
I just know when they go out there, they need to have clear heads, know what they're doing, hit them hard, and restore the tradition.
Perfect. Maggie?
I want to wish them good luck, obviously. I think they can definitely get that 9-1. I think it'd be awesome for them to bring that back after all these years. And I know they can if they just have their heads in the game.
Yeah, it's been a long time. They're ready. I know the community's ready for it as well. Riley?
I just want to say good luck. I'm sad I won't get to watch you guys in person, but I'll be
Yeah,
cheering you on from afar. But I know you guys can do it.
You're leaving town. Last game of the season, you're leaving.
I'll be back for the
I've
playoffs.
seen-
We'll be in the playoffs. You better be back. Kenzie?
I definitely think they need to go out and give it their all because we can definitely finish 9-1 and just finish the regular season strong.
Okay, last question. This is for you, Maggie. This squad will have several cheer competitions coming up here, starting actually next month, and possibly run clear through March, depending on regional qualifications, state competitions, and what have you. And I know these competitions mean a ton to this squad. And you were a member of the Monroe Central State Cheer Championship team in 2022, February 6th, 2022. I was looking at pictures today. So, that's never been accomplished, and there was no better, I guess, no better feeling than that evening. I remember Danielle and I sitting there and we watched you guys compete, then we watched Edison compete, who ultimately got second, and I told her, I'm like, I just don't know that we had enough, you know what I mean? But I don't keep score.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, don't want to. But anyway, we prevailed, won the state championship, and that was awesome. So there's no need for me to ask you about any of your goals, because I know what your goal is. I know you well enough. What can we expect from this cheer squad in the upcoming competitions?
We've been putting hours and hours into this, and I think we've improved so much just even in the practices, and we're definitely more connected this year. And our coaches tell us all the time that's what will get us to win, is if we're all as a group, because you win as a group or you lose as a group, or you lose and you're not a group.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we're really connected this year, and I just want to feel that feeling that I felt my freshman year again, because like you said, there's nothing like it. Like knowing that all your hard work really paid off in the end just feels so good, and I know everyone else is really wanting it too this year. So.
Well, good deal. Listen, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us, and thank you for your support for this football team. I wish you girls the best of luck in whatever you do the remainder of the football season and in your endeavors when you graduate. So appreciate your time. And you got anything else to add? Kenzie, I know you have to have something. No? See, that's what Chance did too. He just kind of froze. I don't know.
Definitely say I'm very thankful to be here and to be with this team, because it's given me some of my best friends, and I think I'm going to carry this bond even once I graduate.
It's perfect. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Listen, I wish you girls the best of luck. Thank you. We'll be back after a short break to speak with the senior Seminole football players. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're here tonight with our first guest of the evening, Monroe Central football seniors. Bringing these seniors back for the episode before the final regular season game's been a tradition in the past when Coach Acosta started this Coach's Corner in '91. And restoring the tradition of this program has been something that these kids have poured every ounce of energy in to get this program back to where it needs to be. We understand we're not there yet, but they've played a big role in heading us in the right direction. So tonight's a very, very special night for these young men and for this program. For everyone watching, this program hasn't been 8-1 heading into week 10 since 2011. That's 13 years ago. That's a long, long time. And what this group of young men has done to accomplish that is truly remarkable. So fellas, I'd like to welcome every one of you to the show this evening. I want to personally thank you all for the roles that you've played in turning this football program around. We're winning games once again. Our numbers are up the past couple of years. We have a JV schedule now, which we haven't had in years. And the stands are packed every Friday night, and you've absolutely returned excitement back to this community. And this is what this community needed. When Coach and I played in the 90s, this is what this community was all about, was Woodsville Redskin football at that time. And you guys have it coming back, so we truly, truly appreciate all your efforts and all of your leadership to get us back to where we once were. So Logan, this question's for you, buddy. I know it takes a lot of talent to win, and we've done that. We've won some football games the past couple of years, but it takes a lot more than just talent alone. In 2021, this senior class here went 4-6. 2022, this senior class went 2-8. Last year, you guys made a run into the state playoffs and finished 7-5. And this year, heading into week 10, we're sitting at 8-1. Truly remarkable. And these past 2 years have been very, very special. Can you explain the success and what's happened to get us back?
Really just took all the guys playing that signed up to really buy in and really, want to win. Have the attitude to win and put in the hours, like the 2 days and the conditioning and all that. Just really want to win. Really want to turn this program around.
Ethan, do you have anything to add on top of what you just said?
Like you said, we've just been working together in the off season and working to get better every day.
Now, I know each and every one of you kids are tough individuals, and Billy and Evan, throughout their career, have had some injuries. Billy, with your knee, and a lot of kids, with injuries like that, it's a nagging injury that you just can't seem to shake. A lot of kids would have hung it up, would have quit, moved on, maybe to another sport or what have you, or just gave football up entirely. But you guys worked your tails off to contribute, and you did it for your team. So, Evan, let's start with you first. Can you explain why you fought through your injuries and what brought you back here?
Well, my first injury that really took me out to where I couldn't practice or even play a game happened when my sophomore year. So I really had a lot of time left, so I didn't really see the point of just giving up then when I had so much time left. And Carter and Dad, they were great players for this team, and they just really motivated me to keep on going.
Now, Billy, what about you? Your knee injury, it's football's a physical sport, buddy. So, and playing on that offensive and defensive line, it seems others want to go at your knees. So you probably had a little tougher recovery, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was tough, but like I said, everybody's going through their own thing and pain and stuff. So I just had to be there for my teammates.
Good deal, buddy. We've talked in previous episodes about this team and how much talent there is and how much experience there is, and there's just not enough footballs to go around. So everyone contributes where they can, whether it be subbing in on defense or offense, or playing special teams. So Sean, can you describe your time on the field alongside this great group of athletes on this team?
It's been really fun. I've only played the game for 2 years, and it's been an extraordinary experience.
And Tristan, you're kind of in the same shoes. You fill in occasionally on the defensive line and on defense, what have you, but you do spend some time on special teams. Can you explain your experience playing alongside these guys?
It's been only my first year, but I've had fun.
Good deal, buddy. Let's move on to the next question. Let's get some of the Hogs involved. You know who you are back there. So let's talk some in the trenches stuff right now. So, like I mentioned, this offense is full of talent, and there's no denying that whatsoever. But the improvement on the offensive and defensive lines in the second half of the season has been extraordinary. Early in the season, particularly against Belpre, we struggled. We had some penalties, made some stupid mistakes. We've cleaned a lot of that up. But Pick, we've cleaned those things up, but our backs and receivers have been putting up big numbers every week. And without our offensive line, that cannot be done. Can you explain the improvement you guys had from, say, week 1 against Belfry to where we stand going into week 10?
Yeah, I think it all starts with, the coaching staff that we have, they push us really hard, week in and week out. And, I think as the season goes on, we've all done a really good job of just playing better together and making sure our chemistry is strong. So I think that, you take that into account, you can really see, just how much this team and unit has grown since week 1.
Yeah, definite improvements, especially on that offensive line for certain. Grimmy, to the defensive line, buddy. There again, there's no doubt you're a big kid, and you're awful tough to move out there. And against Barnesville, things got a little chippy. You play with some passion out there, and so explain your play on the defensive line throughout this season.
Well, my main job is to plug up the hole, make shut down the right lanes, same with most of our defensive linemen. We've really improved a lot through the season, I truly believe, especially from week 1 to week 10 now. A lot's improved.
Yeah, without a doubt, big improvements. Now, Tucker, you have so many weapons offensively. Chance, Cooper, Corbin, or Max, and Logan at the receivers, and then you throw in AJ and Lucas has been catching the ball out of the backfield and running the ball hard here the last couple of weeks. But we've had some holes to fill. We lost Landon graduation, and then we lost Carter graduation as well. But Chance has really stepped up and filled those shoes at the wide receiver position. So, Chance, can you explain the experience you've had so far with this team and this program? I know it's your first year.
Yeah, my experience has been great. From practice to the games on Friday night, playing along these guys is really fun. A great group of people.
So, Tucker, we also talked on another episode about your career, and we could sit here and talk for hours about what you've accomplished on the field. Records you've already broken, records you're going to break. But you're not that type of kid, and that's, you're so humble, and you never get rattled, and you play with true sportsmanship, and that's fantastic to watch. And I know you're aware of the records and the accolades. I'm sure you are, but you just seem unfazed out there. How have you handled that success on the field this year and kind of kept it below the radar and kept the team, together? It's we know it's not about Tucker House, it's about this Monroe Central Seminole football team.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the records don't really mean anything to me. I just want our team to succeed, and they've done a great job at that. So I can't have being here, gloating and stuff, and then having our team go different ways because we wish the play's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not one of the most humble kids I've ever met. To be as successful as he is, Coach, and it's all about team. I love it. Early in the season, guys, I talked to all you seniors about, this is coming to an end. And you may not realize it now, but I've been out of school for 30 years, and it sucks. It really does. It's tough. And you may not see it now, but, tomorrow night is your last regular season football game that you will ever play in high school, ever. And, don't even think about that, but keep that in your mind and make the very, very most of it, because you can't get this back. And, you can talk to all the coaches on the coaching staff. Most every one of them has been through this program, and it's a feeling that isn't good whatsoever. But, I'm glad to be back and be a part of the program in a sense, and being around you guys. And so, Whitaker, I've watched you for most of your career. What does this team mean to you? What does this program mean to you? And what's it like to be a part of such a fantastic program, coaching staff, players?
It means the world. I've grown up with these guys, with the exception of a few. We've played every sport together, been together, succeeded together. Beginning of our high school careers, failed together, stuck through with it with each other, and so they mean the world. Been there with it the whole time.
I know that defeat against Barnesville kind of kind of hit home, but, it's like you guys come right back together. It's like it phased you, I know it did, but, a couple days passed, and before you know it, we're playing again on Friday night and absolutely demolished the Frontier team. So that's great to see too. Clint, can you explain what it's been, what it's meant to be a part of this program for 4 years?
I mean, it feels like nothing else, as Tyler said before, just guys that you grow up with. You learn new things every day from the beginning, first starting practice, not knowing what you're doing, just running around essentially, to just trying to master that technique and be the best player you can out in the field.
And a lot of kids don't realize either that it's not just about football. You play football for 3-4 years, what have you, but there's so many other lessons that you learn on the football field and from your coaches. Life's not easy. Life's not easy. Playing Barnesville wasn't easy. It's going to make you a better man in the future. I can promise you that. It takes a special individual to put on these jerseys, to step in this field house, to play on this football field, to attend every 2 days. If it was easy, every boy at Monroe Central would be in this field house. But it's just not easy, guys. And it'll make you a better man, I can promise you that. Logan, can you touch base on what it's meant to be a part of this football program and playing with this group of individuals for 4 years?
Yeah, it's been a really special experience. Like the other two said, growing up with these guys, having success with them throughout, our whole playing career, even having some of the failures. It's been a lot to me. I know it means a lot to everyone else. It's just like a family, like a brotherhood. Absolutely, just means the world to me.
Coach, you got anything to add on these?
Yeah, I mean, just a great group of kids. They mentioned something about believing that they could win and expecting to win, and that's something that I always thought was a staple of Woodsville Monroe Central football, is believing and expecting to win. And they've definitely brought that back, all these guys. Great group in the locker room, on the field, just true leaders. I mean, Tucker's the main leader, and they kind of follow him. And being humble, and he knows he can, win games, and they follow him, and they all expect to be there, right there with him. So no, I look forward to seeing what they can do tomorrow night. It's a big it's basically, like you talked about, the last regular season game. It might be the last game that they ever play football. I mean, very possible. Not a lot of kids go to college, out here. So just a great group of kids. I can't wait to see what they can do in the playoffs here. And I guess Chance has a question, right? You said you had a question. You want
No.
We saved the slot for it.
Yeah.
We can cut it off like next question. I want to think of one.
Now he got shy. He told me
I didn't actually think you were going to give me a chance to ask.
I just want to ask a question. We'll lighten up.
I folded it.
What did you guys think of Coach's Corner? Are you glad we brought it back?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Perfect. Well, listen, guys, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow night against Shadyside, and we'll see where the road takes us. Some other games that need to play out, and unless something severely bad happens, we're going to be going on the playoffs in week 11. So, and that's all because of you guys. It's all because of your hard work, your leadership, and your dedication to this football program. So I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, and I wish you the best of luck in the playoffs. And if you guys ever need anything at all, ever in life, you can contact me, all right? I'll be there for you. Okay? We'll be right back with some highlights from last week's Frontier football game. Corbin Farnsworth causes the fumble, and Ashton jumps on top of it.
Corbin has a nice hit, and Ashton with the heads-up play to get on the ball.
Tucker Howe hits Logan Powell for the first single touchdown of the night.
Here we run play action and get a great fake from AJ, leaving Logan wide open.
Cooper Howe with the quarterback sack.
We have good coverage in the secondary, allowing Cooper to get the big hit on the quarterback.
Chance Allen gets his first interception of the night.
Chance does a great job of coming off his deep coverage to get the pick.
Tucker Howe goes 64 yards untouched.
We get some great blocks on the outside, and Tucker races for the touchdown.
Cooper Howe with a great catch for the interception.
Cooper does a great job of keeping his feet in bounds for his first interception of the night.
Tucker Howe hits Chance Allen for a 45-yard Seminole touchdown.
Another great fake from AJ and great route from Chance, allowing for the big play.
Tyler Whitaker gets a tackle for a loss.
Tyler does a great job of getting off his block, finding the ball, and making the big hit.
Evan Knowlton with a 35-yard rushing touchdown.
Evan breaks a few arm tackles and then shows off his speed down the sidelines.
There's that speedy Logan Powell coach with a pick six.
Ethan does a great job of knocking his man off the route, allowing Logan to get the interception.
Ethan Gillespie with a tackle for a loss.
Ethan does a great job of fighting through the block to get the tackle.
Corbin Farnsworth, another sack on the quarterback.
Corbin does a great job of getting around his man for the quarterback sack.
Cooper Howe with a 67-yard pick six.
Cooper gets some great blocks from a host of Seminoles, allowing for the long return.
Chance Allen with the second interception of the night.
Chance does a great job of high pointing the ball and making a nice catch.
A.J. Rudder with a nice gain off the right tackle.
We get a nice down block from Corbin, and A.J. hits the hole full speed.
Jonah Morton with a nice pickup around right end.
Jonah shows off some nice moves and picks up the first down.
Logan Powell with a 25-yard touchdown reception.
Logan shows off his blazing speed with the sprint to the end zone.
Caleb Grimm with a tackle for a loss.
Grimm does a great job of running down the line for the loss.
Clint Rader with a quarterback sack.
Clint does a great job of closing down on the quarterback and getting the tackle.
Lucas Stiver with a strong run for a first down.
Stiver breaks several tackles for a long gain.
Clint Rader with a tackle for a loss.
Clint maintains the edge and gets a big stop in the backfield.
When we return, we will preview this week's opponent, the Shadyside Tigers. We're back, everyone. Coach, tomorrow night we travel down to Shadyside. I've scrolled through their opponents and their scores, and they're kind of similar to the Shenandoah team we talked about a few weeks ago. They win some games that you probably think they shouldn't, and some of the games you think they should win, they've lost. And I know we watched bits and pieces of the Martins Ferry game in your office, as a matter of fact, for Wildfire. And they played on Thursday night against Pat Ferry, and the quarterback got injured in that game, and the whole team, pretty much took a beating. They were just outmanned.
Right.
I mean, so I think they had some injuries and lost a few of those games. Possibly they should have won, but I did hear that they got their quarterback back and a few of those other weapons. So things are starting to click for them a little.
Yeah, they are. They've actually, you can kind of see it through the season. We've watched film on them, and they've gotten better and better as the season went on. Offensively, they've got number 2 is a weapon. You kind of mentioned Shenandoah. He kind of reminds me of Barnett. Maybe not quite as athletic and elusive, but very good, pretty good speed, runs the ball hard, and they kind of put him all over. They try to feed him the ball wide receiver. They've been putting him at running back a lot more as the season went on. In fact, the Bridgeport game, they kind of just fed him the ball, and that's how they won. The last 2 drives, they put him at tailback and just fed him the ball. So we've got to concentrate on him. The quarterback, he's got kind of an okay arm. He can't throw a great deep ball, but he does throw very accurate, 20 to 30 yards and under. He throws very accurate balls, makes good decisions. So, but the thing I've noticed, like I mentioned about Shadyside, is, and you kind of mentioned it, it's you don't know what you're going to get. I saw them get beat by Frontier, and then they come back and put 20-0 on the River team that I thought would maybe beat them. But yeah, and I think that goes to show you that they're kind of getting better. The Frontier game was early. They're getting better and better as the year goes on. But defensively, they run kind of a different defense called a 3-3 stack, which kind of good for us. There's only 3 defensive linemen at times. I think we'll be able to take advantage of those kind of things. They don't give up a lot of deep balls. They have almost 3 safeties and 2 corners, so they kind of umbrella coverage type thing. But now, Shadyside, it's a proud team, so I expect them to be playing hard on tomorrow night. It should be a pretty good game, I think.
Yeah, Shadyside's always been a tough opponent, kind of like a rival to us, actually.
Yeah.
With Coach Acosta from down around those parts, and I know he always had us fired up.
Yeah.
When we played Shadyside for certain. It'd be nice to be successful early and get the starters off the field. These playoffs are starting to unfold now, Coach. And, we're starting to get a little idea of where we may be heading in the playoffs, and just something about that turf.
Yeah, this is our only turf game so far. So.
Yeah, and you always hear about injuries and turf, and knock on wood. Pray that doesn't happen to anyone tomorrow night. Coach, let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll talk about some important dates and some game information leading up to tomorrow night and into next week. We're back, everyone. Just a few items to go over leading up to tomorrow night's game. Tickets will be on sale at the gate at Shadyside, $7 a piece. There are a few options for parking. The baseball field, if weather permits, and it appears it will, that's the main parking. There's a north lot, which is very small, and of course there's parking along the streets. But if you can get there early and get on that baseball field, it's awful convenient. Just a short walk to the stands along the track. Parking will be handled by the Shadyside Athletic Boosters at $5 to park. This coming weekend, both Woodsfield youth football programs won their second round games and both advanced to the championship game at River. The third and fourth grade looks to avenge one of their losses from this year against Buckeye Trail in the championship, and the fifth and sixth grade will also be playing in the championship against a team they've already defeated this year, the Shenandoah Zeps, and that game will kick off at 3:30. Not much going on this weekend, Coach. Couple of champions.
Just 2 champions.
Just 2 champions.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Got any final comments leading into tomorrow night's game, Coach?
Yeah. Shadyside, I mentioned that they're a proud program with a lot of tradition, just like we are. So no matter what kind of record they have or anything like that, they're going to come out ready to play, and they've got a lot to play for. They actually, I looked today, they have a chance to host a playoff game if they beat us. There's a possibility, and it definitely will help their chances of getting in the playoffs. So they've got a lot to play for. It's not just go down there and play just to beat Monroe Central. There's a lot for them to play for. Like I said, there's a lot of tradition there. So now we've got to go down there and on defense shut number 2 down and take care of business on that end, and offensively just kind of keep clicking, keep executing, as we have in the past.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind is They have a group of seniors down there too, that's
Yeah.
playing,
Yep,
could be their final game,
yeah,
you know, at home. So, you can bet you that those seniors are gonna be ready to knock off Monroe Central. And like I said, it's always been a rivalry, Coach, so,
yeah.
you know, who knows what can happen. But I'm sure you and the rest of your coaching staff have the team ready tomorrow, and hopefully we'll wake up Saturday morning and then into Sunday and find out where things stand as far as first round of the playoffs.
Just sit and wait.
Sit and wait, sit and wait. All right, everyone, that's a wrap. We thank you for watching Coach's Corner once again, and we'll be with you again next Thursday night at 9 p.m. To discuss our victory over the Shady Side Tigers and our first round playoff opponent. Go Noles!